Imagine waking up one morning, checking your phone, and seeing an email from the Australian Department of Home Affairs telling you that your visa has been cancelled. No warning. No second chance. Just gone. Your dreams of living, working, or studying in Australia wiped out in seconds. This is not a horror story. This is the reality that thousands of visa holders are facing right now in 2026. And if you are watching this video, you need to hear what I am about to tell you. Because it could save your visa, your future, and everything you have worked so hard to build. Welcome back to Aussie Gateway, your most trusted source for everything Australia immigration. I am so glad you are here today, because this video is one of the most important ones we have ever made on this channel. Australia has launched one of the biggest immigration crackdowns in its modern history, and the consequences for visa holders who are not prepared are absolutely devastating. We are talking about visa cancellations, deportations, bans from re-entering Australia, and in some cases, permanent records that follow you for life. So stay with me until the very end of this video, because I am going to walk you through exactly what is happening, who is being targeted, why visas are being cancelled, and most importantly, what you must do right now to protect yourself. Let us start with the big picture. The Australian government in 2026 has made it crystal clear that immigration compliance is no longer something they are willing to overlook. After years of pressure from the public, Parliament, and various community groups, the Department of Home Affairs has significantly increased its enforcement operations. Immigration officers are now conducting audits at a scale that Australia has never seen before. Employers are being checked. Educational institutions are being investigated. And individual visa holders are being scrutinised like never before. The message from Canberra is loud and clear. If you are not following the rules of your visa, Australia will find out, and the consequences will be severe. Now let us talk about who exactly is being targeted in this crackdown. The first group is student visa holders. Australia has a massive international student population, and authorities have identified a disturbing trend of students who are not actually attending their classes, not maintaining satisfactory academic progress, or using the student visa as a backdoor way to simply work in Australia without any real intention of completing their studies. If you are on a student visa, your attendance records, your grades, and your enrolment status are all being monitored. Universities and colleges are now legally required to report non-compliant students directly to the Department of Home Affairs. If your attendance falls below the required threshold or you fail too many subjects, your educational institution is obligated to notify immigration authorities, and your visa can be cancelled without you even realising a report was filed. The second group being heavily targeted is temporary work visa holders. Whether you are on a skilled worker visa, a sponsored employer visa, or any other form of temporary work authorization, the rules around your employment conditions are being enforced with an iron fist in 2026. One of the biggest issues authorities are cracking down on is visa holders who are working for employers other than their approved sponsor, working more hours than permitted, or performing job duties that are completely different from what was approved on their visa application. If you are a sponsored worker and your employer changes your role without proper notification to the Department of Home Affairs, both you and your employer could face serious consequences. The third major group under the microscope is tourist and visitor visa holders. Australia has long been aware that a significant number of people enter the country on tourist visas with absolutely no intention of leaving. In 2026, border authorities have ramped up their exit monitoring systems significantly. They are now cross-referencing entry and exit records in real time, and anyone who overstays their visa by even a single day is being flagged in the system. And overstaying is not just a small mistake you can apologise for. It can result in a 3-year ban, a 5-year ban, or in serious cases, a permanent ban from ever entering Australia again. Now here is something that many people do not know about, and this is extremely important. Australia has introduced enhanced character and conduct checks as part of this crackdown. This means that immigration officers are now looking beyond just your visa conditions. They are reviewing your criminal history in Australia and overseas, your tax compliance record, your social media activity in some cases, and even your financial situation. If you have been convicted of any offence in Australia, even a minor one, there is now a much higher chance that your visa will be reviewed and potentially cancelled under the character provisions of the Migration Act. And if you think a conviction overseas does not matter, think again. Australia shares information with multiple countries through international immigration databases, and that information is being actively used in visa reviews. Another area that is causing serious problems for visa holders right now is the issue of providing false or misleading information. Whether it happened in your original visa application years ago or in a more recent update to your immigration file, if the Department of Home Affairs discovers any discrepancy or inconsistency in the information you have provided, they have the legal authority to cancel your visa immediately. This includes things like incorrect employment history, undisclosed family members, misrepresented qualifications, or anything else that does not match the records they have on file. The department is now using advanced data matching technology to compare information across different government systems, and the chances of something slipping through undetected are now much lower than ever before. So what does the cancellation process actually look like? Here is how it typically unfolds. The Department of Home Affairs identifies a potential concern through their monitoring systems, through a report from an employer or educational institution, or through a tip-off. They then conduct an internal review of your case. In many situations, you will receive a notice of intention to consider cancellation, which gives you an opportunity to respond and provide your side of the story. However, in cases where authorities consider someone to be a risk, they have the power to cancel a visa immediately and detain the person until they can be removed from the country. This is not a hypothetical scenario. It is happening to real people right now, and the stories coming out of immigration detention centers in 2026 are heartbreaking. Now let us talk about what you absolutely must do right now if you are a visa holder in Australia. The first and most critical step is to review your visa conditions today. Do not wait. Pull out your visa grant letter or log in to your immigration account and read every single condition attached to your visa. Make sure you understand exactly what you are and are not allowed to do. If anything is unclear, seek professional advice from a registered migration agent. The second thing you must do is make sure your contact details with the Department of Home Affairs are completely up to date. If your address, phone number, or email address has changed and you have not updated it with immigration authorities, you could miss critical communications about your visa status. Many people have had their visas cancelled simply because they never received important letters or emails because their contact information was outdated. Third, if you are a student, talk to your international student advisor at your institution immediately. Make sure your attendance is being properly recorded and that you are aware of your institution's obligations to report to the department. If you are struggling academically, ask for help before it becomes an immigration issue. Fourth, if you are a sponsored worker, have an honest conversation with your employer about your role and make sure that everything is properly documented and reported to the relevant authorities. Do not assume your employer is handling everything correctly on your behalf. You are ultimately responsible for your own visa compliance. Fifth, and I cannot stress this enough, if you receive any communication from the Department of Home Affairs about your visa, do not ignore it. Do not panic, but do not ignore it. Respond promptly, seek professional help if needed, and take the matter seriously. The window you are given to respond to a notice of intention to consider cancellation is limited, and missing that window can be catastrophic. Australia is still one of the greatest countries in the world to live, work, study, and build a future. The opportunities here are real, and they are worth fighting for. But those opportunities come with responsibilities. The rules exist for a reason, and in 2026, Australia has made it absolutely clear that those rules will be enforced without exception. You have invested too much money, too much time, too much heart, to lose it all because of a preventable mistake. Stay informed. Stay compliant. And most importantly, stay connected to channels like Aussie Gateway that are here to give you the real, honest, up-to-date information you need to protect your future in Australia. If this video helped you or gave you something important to think about, please give it a thumbs up right now. It genuinely helps more people find this content when they need it most. Share this video with anyone you know who is living in Australia on a visa, because this information could make the difference between them keeping their visa or losing everything. Subscribe to Aussie Gateway if you have not already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a critical update like this one. This is Aussie Gateway, and we will see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay legal, and keep building your Australian dream.